Cheers, I do, buckaroos. How the heck are you? So finally, I've got a day off tomorrow, so I decided I'd do a late night video tonight. This one was kind of unscheduled, so I don't know if anybody be up watching me or not. It was kind of, like I said, impromptu, so I'm certainly not expecting anybody, but if anybody tunes in, I'll be both the beer whisperer and the whiskey whisperer for the purposes of this video. Let me get that fixed there real quick. Oh, no, there we go. Now we're back in business. There we go. Now we're all set up. Anyways, I digress. How the heck are you? So here's what I got here, folks. Well, I need to have any room here. So I've got from Banter Brewing, I have their Next Evolution Anniversary Ale. It's an 11% barley wine aged in toasted oak barrels. Let me show that to you. That's the can, but that's not what I'm drinking out of. I brought the can out just to show that to you. I actually have a growler of it, a 32-ounce growler. Look at that color. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. Oh, I love how you feel those oak notes on the nose. A little bit of barley wine sweetness brought back by those oak notes. Oh man, that's gorgeous. I'm going to set that down for a second. Want that to warm up a little bit. So the whiskey I've got here, what did I do with it here? Got decanted here. Thought I'd try to work through it here. My daughter brought me this decanter. Can't see this is dad joke loading. So there's a reason why I'm using this glass, the Pinckney Ben glass, because that's what I've got in here. I got the Pinckney Ben Rested Whiskey. It's 100 proof corn whiskey. I thought I really need to go through it, so I gave myself a rather generous pour because I'll probably just do the one video today. I'm off tomorrow, so I may do something tomorrow as well. I do work Monday, but I don't go in till later. Oh, wow. This is a nice whiskey. You do feel that it's a rested whiskey. So it's short aged, but just enough you can feel those oak notes in there. I did visit Pinckney Bend April of last year, and I was hoping to get back there again, but I just hadn't had a chance. I really, really liked it, man. I really liked it, man. Set that down. Whew. Worked a couple long days back to back, and my old feet are hurting, man. I'm tired. Had to think about it for a second, you know. I had to do I have some alcohol or opt for a muscle relaxer? Obviously, I opted for the alcohol because I was, you know, I wanted to relax. This is an easier relax. You know, you can sit, pour the beer, kind of take it easy. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put it up there. I will answer almost anything, unless you're being a complete asshat. But a few of them from time to time. Mm. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand the troll mentality. I don't get it. Why watch something you're not going to like, or why watch something from someone you don't like? It just doesn't make sense. I don't get that mentality. What I mean, how miserable of a person do you have to be to seek out negativity in your life? I just can't make that make sense. Especially with what my wife and I have been through in this time of year. April 23rd of 2013 when we lost our son to cancer. I don't understand why people feel the need to be hateful. It just doesn't make sense to me. They go out of their way to be hateful. They watch you knowing they don't like you, or just so they can say something disgusting and hateful to you or about you. I just don't get that mentality. I mean, how miserable of a person you have to be like that. I mean, how sick and twisted of an individual do you have to be? I just don't get it. This is nice. It's it's just a corn whiskey, so I mean it's not a bourbon mash or anything. But boy, the way they do things at Pinckney Bend is so incredible. Their products are just so amazing. Oh, I bought several when we were there last year, and I've gone through them all except this is my last bottle of rusted whiskey. I bought some heirloom varieties, and man, that stuff was insanely good. I'd like to get back up there. I'm hoping to maybe sometime this year get back through that neck of the woods. Uh, so I can pick up some more products. A little bit of sweetness initially. You might feel some caramel notes. Again, you're getting those barrel notes, right? But I get a lot of oak and spice in the finish, even though it is just a rusted, short aged whiskey. That corn whiskey really absorbs those oak notes, though. Uh, it's a rather generous pour of that barley wine. Typically, when I have a can like that, I it's a pint can. I pour about 8 ounces at a time. When I have a growler, I typically pour a little smaller pour, only about 5 or 6 ounces at a time. But I grabbed the big snifter here. So it was a rather generous pour. Oh, filled it myself yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to have any yesterday, so I know it'd still be okay today. But it was really sounding good. I wanted something big, man, something to really take the edge off, you know. And it wasn't. I didn't have two stressful days. Don't get me wrong. It was two very good days, but there were still long days, and they were still long, man. And my old bones are sore. My feet are really hurting. But that, well, I could have a muscle relaxer, and that might help things quicker. But then I won't have the, wouldn't have the therapeutic value of, having a drink, something therapeutic about having a nice pour, a little beer, a little whiskey makes me frisky. See, it's already working. I'm already feeling better. Already starting to smile and chuckle. Everything's coming into place, man. Oh, wasn't sure when I'd be able to shake my other job. I thought I'd have to keep it just a little bit longer than I did. But I felt like it kind of run its course, and I think my wife was ready for me to give it up too, because she knew I was just kind of hanging in there as long as I could. But I was really running myself ragged and feeling rather unappreciated. Now I can devote more time to what was a secondary gig, make it to primary gig, and really enjoying that. It's a lot less stress and a whole lot more enjoyable. Work around great people, very supportive people who appreciate who appreciate my life experiences and what I bring to the table. Unlike my previous endeavor, it's not exactly 100% true. I was feeling rather appreciated right up until near the end there. The last year and a half, kind of brutal, but especially the last 6 months, I was just watching what changes were being made was just really taking its toll on me. Watching priorities shift. And so I'm glad I had the opportunity to be doing what I'm doing. I kind of lucked into the job. I saw an ad placed on it, Indeed, and I was going to apply for it. And I just wasn't sure because I've worked for a brewery before, but in the sales end, not behind the bar. I had a friend who was working there at the time, and I asked him about it, and he was very encouraging. So, well, I'm going to go for it. Because most breweries in town here aren't hiring folks of a certain age, let's just say. They're looking for something a little different. So I was glad to be given a chance, and now my duties have expanded, I guess, for lack of a better way to. I'm trying to phrase that better, but that's all I can come up with. To be able to do other things, now I'm designing cocktails, designing craft cocktails, putting them together, different combinations seasonally for specialty cocktails. I'm really enjoying the hell out of that. And it seems to be very appreciated. I mean, they've been well received. A couple folks told me that it's the best cocktail in town. So, and these are folks that like me. So I'll take it with a grain of salt. But the truth is, I believe they really meant it when they said it. I've had this before. Something, I've had this rusted whiskey before, and I don't remember. The aromas here feel different to me, and I don't know why. It's a different batch. I'm feeling, I'm feeling the oak, but it almost comes across as almost a roasted peanut like note. I mean, sometimes I just feel like I'm going crazy when I get that, but tastes all right to me, man. It tastes good to me, man. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, I gave myself about a 3-ounce pour there. No, actually, it's close to about 2.5-ounce pour. I forget it's a shot and I thought it was a shot and a half glass, but it's a shot and a quarter glass. So I did about 2.5 ounces there. Oh, and then having this beautiful barley wine. I'm going to show you the can because, like I said, I used a growler. I had a growler, a 32-ounce growler, but I have a can of it, so I use the can so I can show you. This is what I'm having. Nice label on there. It's from Banter Brewing. It's an 11% barley wine aged in toasted oak. It is just beyond, beyond, beyond gorgeous. In the interest of full disclosure, I do work for the brewery, but man, it is my absolute favorite barley wine. I'm a firm believer that a barley wine needs to be aged in something. Doesn't necessarily need to be a spirits barrel, but it needs to be in oak or something. Because otherwise, an unaged or a barley wine that's not put in oak or something tends to be too sweet. You need something to really clean up that sweetness. In this case, the oak really does the trick. You've got that big, rich, beautiful, tasty barley wine. And you've got that oak that just really helps dry everything up in the finish. It's absolutely gorgeous, man. It's just a fine beer. I set that down. I did let it warm up for a while, but the truth is, it's probably still a little colder than it used to be. This beer is really optimal at about 55 to 60. Some might even want it a tad warmer than that, but for me, about 55, 60 is perfect. Some might even like it about 50, 55. I'm not going to, we'll just say 50 to 60 is great. That's depending, because I'm fine in that range. Anyways, I digress. See, everything seems to be working now. I'm feeling better. My feet are hurting less the longer I drink. It's going nicely. This experiment is working nicely. I am glad to have a day off tomorrow, though. I can relax. I don't know if I'll get out and do anything tomorrow because sometimes I think I don't necessarily plan, but I talk about doing things or getting out doing something on a Sunday, visiting, going to a brewery or visiting some friends. But then I get up and I fix breakfast and decide I look around, see what the weather's doing. I said, I think I'm going to stay home. Home is where I stay now. So yeah, here is where I stays. So we'll see because there's a band or a band. It's a duo playing at Springfield Brewing Company tomorrow that I really like. They did a at the pub show with me a while back. I would like to do it again because I was still on painkillers from my surgery, so I wasn't drinking during the show, obviously. But they it's a duo called the Shandies. They're very good, incredible songwriters, both of them. But I haven't seen them for a while, so I would. They're probably Springfield Brewing Company tomorrow from 5 to 8. So I'd like to get out there, but I wish they did their shows like from 2 to 5. Like that afternoon, window. 5 to 8. I always hated getting out there from 5 to 8 before because I had to be at work so early on Monday. But even though I work Monday, I don't have to go in early, so it would still be okay. But I just like to be home. So if I go, I'll probably go from 5 to maybe 6:37 top end. But I would like to see them because they're really good. I enjoy their songs, their stylings, just incredible songwriters, great lyricists, which really is what I like. Oh, biscuits and gravy. Say it again. I saw another viewer pop up. If you have any questions or comments, if you'd like to put it up on the screen, go for it. Anybody that ever wants to jump in a video with me, just let me know and I'll send you a link, typically via Messenger. But I know it is late, so I don't expect anybody to want to jump on. Like I said, this wasn't a planned video. When I have them planned, it's different. People know I'm going live. This one was just kind of, okay, let's check it out there. So I didn't know what time I was going to get off work, so I didn't want to set it up and then have to change it later. I didn't know how I was going to feel. It was looking a little iffy. It was really hurting, man. Did have a good work day. There were a lot of things going on in town, so I expected it to be a little bit slower than it was. There was a beer fest in town and a couple other festivals going on. Earth Day Fest and Crawfish Fest, and there was all kinds of stuff going on. So I wasn't expecting a lot, but got busier than I expected. Not a lot of my regulars didn't show up, but a lot of other folks did. We had some new folks that just found us, and so business was really good today. So that was nice. We had some live music from 6 to 8, a performer I hadn't seen before, and she was really good, man. Very impressive. Uh, as I've let this barley wine warm up, yeah, I mean, it gets more aromatic. There's nothing wrong with it colder. However, the flavors, the aromas are a little sharper when it's cold. They meld together much better once it warms up. But some folks like those sharper notes, so they'll drink it colder. But it really is optimal as it warms up. Especially aromatics, really gets more aromatic as it warms. You can really feel those notes. Now, while a barley wine won't typically give you fruity esters, sometimes those barrel notes can give you fruit-like notes. So it wouldn't necessarily, it's certainly normal to feel some vanilla, some caramel from that barrel, but it's not out of the realm of possibility to feel with the combination of the malts and that barrel to feel raisin like or other fruit notes. Even though the beer itself wouldn't give you that, with the combination of the barrel, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Oh man, that's just a nice whiskey. Yeah, I've had this for a little while, and I decanted it because I wanted it. My daughter gave me this decanter because she knows her dad very well. But I'm getting near the end there. I figure I probably ought to get it used. When I was trying to pick out a whiskey, so let's do that. When I was looking for a glass, oh well, because I don't have the bottle, I wanted to use the glass from the distillery itself. Ah, mercy, 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 mercy. Anyways, I digress. Ah, get that in that nice snifter. Yeah, I like a barley wine in a snifter. You can use the bills. You can use any glass you want. To be honest with you. But for a bar, especially anything barrel aged, I really like to use a snifter. Typically, I'll use a smaller. I've got a nice 6 ounce snifter. I typically use, but I just grabbed a big one. I was trying to set things up quick, and that was the one that was sitting. That's we need to grab this one. There it was, just staring at me. Let me set that down there for a second. Yeah, work on finishing up this whiskey. Oh, fuck nuggets. Oh, that's nice. That whiskey is nice. Oh, wow. That's nice, man. I don't care who you are. That's just tasty. Anyway, anyways, I digress. Oh, oh yeah, that barley wine is just gorgeous. When I sample it at work, it's usually either it works or it doesn't, right? Not everybody understands the barley wine, but they want to taste it anyways. Oh, but those that understand what a barley wine is, what flavors it may project, or and especially being barrel aged, they'll take a drink and go, oh, that's 11% because it doesn't feel like 11. But it is a style you have to understand, right? If you're just sampling for the sake of sampling, it's probably not going to be for you. But if you're a fan of the style, you go, oh, yeah, oh, that's delicious, man. Oh yeah, see everything's starting to come together now for me. Everything's working now, man. I see the world in a whole different way now, man. 20 minutes ago I was hurting, but now I'm still hurting, but I just don't care as much. Still hurts, but it's just not bothering me as much. The pain hasn't gone away, but I just don't care anymore. Not going to let it affect the rest of my evening, if you know what I'm saying. There we go. What I do with my growler there. Typically, where I would end a video here, but I'm going to pour myself a little more because I don't want to do a second video tonight. I want to pour just a little bit more of that in there. Not a full glass. Let's just see how beautiful that pours. Oh man, that beer is just gorgeous. Oh, excuse me. Oh, mercy, Percy. Hope I didn't get any on you. Anyway. uh It was a busy weekend here in town. We had our beer fest. I'm not typically scheduled Saturdays, but the person that is wanted off, and I wasn't going to go to the beer fest anyway, so I didn't mind working it. To be honest with you, I don't enjoy beer fests as much as I once did. Way back when, I loved going to beer fests, and I won't say I'll never go to another one, but I. It kind of depends on how they're set up. I just don't enjoy them as much as I used to. I don't like being herded in like cattle. I don't like being, I don't like having to drink fast. I want to sit down and enjoy my beer. There are some places that do a very nice VIP where you don't have to go fast. In some cases you get in there an hour early. They have specific VIP areas where you can sit down and relax and enjoy the beer. And those I'll do. The last really good one I went to was well, it was about a decade ago actually. Um, the St. Louis Micro Fest. And part of me wants to go to that again. Part of me is just has a hard time with it, but for personal reasons, nothing to do with that microfest or the way it's set up. Because St. Louis sets that thing up so beautifully. See, I'm already having trouble speaking, so we probably had. I can't. Then again, I do that when I don't have anything to drink. So, but no, that St. Louis Microfest is set up just so incredibly well, especially the VIP. That if I ever do one again, it will probably be that one. I'm not crazy about the way they do them here in Springfield. And for me, they never quite live up to the hype, Uh, the one in St. Louis will bring in, it seems like Springfield will bring in what we already have. You're not going to see anything different. Whereas you go to St. Louis and you'll have breweries there that aren't in that distribution area, and that's nice. But they don't do that here in Springfield. Mercy. Anyways, I've ran longer than I intended on it. I just wanted to pour some. I didn't want to necessarily drink it all, but I wanted to pour a little bit of that in front of you to let you take a look at how that beautiful that poured. Oh, mercy. I digress. I am Tom, the beer whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm also Tom, the whiskey whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Sláinte.